get ready to start our podcast. I just wanted to go ahead and do my normal introduction. Okay, so we are with the Talk It Out show. This is Joanne. I'm Lydia. This is Valerie. First time getting to see Valerie. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I told you guys before, and I'm gonna say it for probably a couple more weeks. We got our show from doing a radio show that we've been doing. We found out was 8 years, and we started off doing a snippet from Who's Full of Who, and we started doing a Who's Full of Who. Um,
Who's one was the play?
no, Who's Full of Yeah, it came from the play. But then when we did the radio station,
Right.
we were doing Who's Full of Who
Yes.
soap opera.
Yes.
And we decided we didn't really care for it, not realizing how good it sounded. And so we kept the names of the Who's Full of Who's names. So if you characters. So if you see us on something else and it's not our Lydia, Joanne, Valerie, and then you see Lauren last week, that's because we took it from Who's Full of Who, and that's how our Talk It Out show started. So we're getting ready to do the podcast. I always just like to give that info out. We would love for you to please leave comments and advice. We can go back over the conversation, the question, at another time and talk about it. You can also reach us, which she will also say at the talkitoutshow@gmail.com. Please subscribe, like, push the bell button to get our notifications. I forgot what else we need to do also for Twitch. So please follow us and leave us questions, comments, or anything like that. We would love to hear from you guys. Okay, and we're getting ready to start the Talk It Out show.
Welcome to the Talk It Out show. I am your host. We would like to let you know that it is for entertainment purposes only. Up on Facebook or Twitter, look at Talk It Out Show. And if you want to email us any of your questions, email us at talkitoutshow@gmail.com. Now, if you need to physically send any of your questions to us, you can go ahead and send it to our P.O. Box at P.O. Box 901043, 9790. All right, well, as you know, I have my panel of lovely ladies. I'm going to introduce those lovely ladies to you. We have Lydia.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, and of course, we have our lovely Valerie.
Hi, everybody.
All right, Lauren is not here today, and maybe she may step in. We don't know, but we're just so grateful that you guys are here today, and we want to be able to help one of our ladies out. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, I need all y'all on y'all today.
Ooh.
All right. So this is thank you for accepting my letter in advance. I need some real honest advice on the situation I'm dealing with. And I also want to know if you guys think I'm crazy, you'll see what I mean. I'm a 50-year-old woman. A little more than 2 months ago, my son's friend did some work for me, which I was paying him for. He's 27. He's a highly attractive young man, but prior to this, there were no moves made by either side. As he was working, we conversed. The convo escalated into some light flirting. Now, I admit, I took it to another level and flat out told him, yo, young A can't do nothing with all of this woman. I figured my age and being blunt would intimidate him, so I wasn't thinking too much of it. Instead, he said that he could show me and told me stop faking. I was offended, but not in a way like, and let's just say he lived up to the challenge. We agreed it was nothing serious and all that stuff just for fun. By the time this happened, he finished the job he was doing for me, so I figured I didn't need to contact or see him anymore. So we had no contact. A couple of weeks later, I ran into him at the mall by chance. We started talking and picked right back up to the flirting. He said he had me crying like a baby, which was true, but I took that as a challenge again that he was being so arrogant about it. So I told him he couldn't do the same thing twice. Again, he put it down probably like 10 times better. So, again, it was for fun, no strings attached. And we were in agreement. I had said before that I wasn't going to try to contact him or see him, and I didn't. But I made up in my mind that had to be the last time we hooked up. He was cool with my son, and I have feelings for him. Fast forward a couple weeks From that, he would text me random messages like, hey, what's good, hope all is well, stuff like that. Out of respect, I would just respond, but try to keep it quick and brief to keep my distance. Now, I will admit my feelings for him got the best of me, and soon we started regular conversing through texting or talking on the phone, but haven't hooked up or seen each other. And now he talks about wanting to see me, not just as a sexual tip, but trying to actually take it to another level. So I'm just, because besides being extremely good looking, he is cool, mature, smart, got his stuff together, and our conversations be on point. I'm really, but this age and him kicking it with my son makes me have doubts. So my questions are, should I not mess with him altogether? Should I just mess with him on the friends with benefit tips? Or should I just keep it a chance and see where it goes?
Man.
Right.
Right.
Well,
That is like
So that makes it a 22-year difference.
yeah.
Right?
but my thing is, to me, I'm gonna go to the. Yes, something is wrong with you. I'm telling you, you and sex. Sex is really like an intimate thing, and I am all about everybody having the freedom to do whatever they want to do. I really am. That's what I'm focused on. It's your life. You live your life. You got the freedom to do it. But don't use the point of saying that is why you had sex with him.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to have sex with him because you wanted to
You
have
wanna
sex with him.
him. She was
It
excited
wasn't.
to-
Actually, no. So he would be the one to say, no,
Yeah.
I'm your son's friend.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's what she was expecting.
No, she wanted to mess with that.
Yeah.
That's what
She did.
But the only way
I'm
would have
saying.
stopped was if he stopped it.
Yeah, it wasn't on her
Yeah,
terms to stop it.
That's why
That's why she used it to talk about it was a challenge. No, she
Yeah.
wanted to take the challenge. No, you threw it out there hoping he was gonna go, no,
Yeah.
I'm your friend's son. Cause she couldn't say it, cause she wanted to jump up. Cause she wanted to jump his bone.
She did.
Mm.
That's what I saw.
And she wanted to jump his bone.
Because she didn't think about what it looked like before she got into it.
Right.
And she's already tasted it and she liked it.
And now you're talking about he want to have a relationship. What should she do?
She
Well, you did whatever you want to do in the beginning. Why you? I don't get with the conversation. He gonna be angry. Thinking about your son when you threw out the challenge. Why are you thinking about your son when it comes down there? Oh, I want to be in a relationship. Go ahead and brag about it.
Well, she should have thought about that before she ever did anything.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's what my mind would have went. This is my friend, dude.
She didn't care about that.
That's a red flag right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that lust thing, it can mess you up. You know, and
that's what I saw. I saw lust.
I didn't see that they had like, this relationship to start off with. Like they didn't start off like they started off in the bed.
Yeah.
They started off. The relationship started off in the bed.
Right.
So it was never. Then they got to know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got to know each other. And she's saying that they have a lot in common. That's what she's saying. They have a lot in common.
Sex conversation. You fall in love with each other quickly. It does. You after you have some good sex, and then you gonna talk about the good sex, and then you start talking about when I was doing this and all that. That's what that is. But when she's thinking about when she's having this sex conversation.
So when she's 50,
She's already 50. So when she was 27, no, when she was
gonna be
excuse me, when she was 27,
48.
he was being born.
Mm-hmm.
When she was 27. Yeah. I want to say Nick that.
I don't know. The reason why I don't know is because it seems like why is it always okay for the men?
No.
Age,
I don't think. See, you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's not. No.
You look.
Like I said, if your son is open to you having sex
When
with
is
his
that
friends,
Stella got groove back? There
no.
was the age
Stella.
difference.
Okay, yeah, but
Stella
Stella wasn't
got-
dating her son's kid
Right.
or her daughter's friend.
That's
Yeah.
true.
She wasn't. That's
That's
what
true.
the conversation is.
Yeah, because he wasn't
That's
even.
what her concern is. She don't care about the age. That's not. That's
She
not
just
on the
asked.
table.
She just asked
That's not on
about
the table.
the child. She just asked about the friend,
Okay.
the brother.
Okay,
the
that was her.
friend.
That's why she was calling
Or
because of
the-
she was writing in because of the her son.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Can
that
she
and
pursue
then,
a relationship? Because how they gonna be?
well, I'm just saying she has a two-part thing. Like, what
You
you asked,
grown.
like you said, you was wrong with the little challenge thing.
You grown. She wasn't talking about no challenge. That was a lie. You grown. You little boy. You did what? At the end of the day, you did what you did to get this far. So why are we trying
Well,
to?
the thing is, she's already done so much. I mean, I mean, she's done, like, she didn't even, like, I guess for me, that's what's so hard, is, like, you never even, before you ever did the first time, in your mind go, this is my son's friend, or should I do this, you didn't stop it. I guess.
She didn't stop it when she promoted it. Because she promoted it and made him go ahead and say, hey, I can accept that challenge.
Yeah.
She threw it out there. She threw that out there. You know men ain't gonna sit
You know
there
they
and go,
nasty. You know they want to do it.
and he a young buck. You know, he putting a mark on there. I got this old buck. Yeah, I'm making my groove on.
Right.
He said,
Well, somebody older and put it on you.
Right, exactly.
and he put it on her, and she put it on him. And now he.
But what is a 28 gonna be doing with a 50? You know what I mean? I'm just tripping.
So
You know, I was like, okay.
I said 27 or
You know, keep every year you get.
Yeah.
You know, because you gotta think about, oh no, love is love, but they didn't come at it as love. They didn't come at it that way. They came in as sexual.
Yeah.
And so if they would have came at that love, I might have thought differently about what I'm looking at. But I was reminded of a story. Here it goes. He was older.
Yeah.
So she was, I think there was a 25-year
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah.
And so now, and they have been married, you know, they started off young, so they were young. So she probably was 18 and he was, 30? So that might not be too bad, but then they gone up in age. And he well into his 70s. And now she's in her 30s and her body just waking up right. You know what I mean? And
There you go.
well, she's in the peak of her life, and he can't, you know, he
can't
almost
perform.
he can't do it. He can't do it.
It's gonna be like,
And
yeah,
but
but
they didn't have it. I don't know if they had it back then.
fake
But
erection.
He
It's not
couldn't,
real.
you know, he almost needed a bedpan. He needed help.
Oh,
You know what I mean? He was having walking issues.
Yeah.
You might need to now more take care. This man told this woman, said, go ahead and get you somebody else.
Somebody else.
And so
And that.
boyfriend in the house, they in there taking hot baths with bubbles and they're in the room giggling, he in the other room listening. You know what I mean? He can't do it.
Yeah.
He watching y'all taking bubble baths and giggling in the room and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm gonna just tell you right now. After that, about a week or two of that, or 3 weeks of that, he came down with what's the name of that thing when you poke the fire? You know that? And he tried to beat her down with that, with that poking thing. He was so upset about it. I don't understand that she didn't know the consequences of her actions, and it's the same as this one. This one is more about her, you know, feelings or whatever, her getting her groove on more than she's thinking about how it's affecting their relationship between the son. And then really, again, they got this thing, and you know, he might have to bring her. Will he bring it a bedpan? Will he?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, she's like,
I don't know.
All I know is your son will never bring a friend to your house again. Because you know darn well, that son is the one that told him, my mama needs some things
Work
done.
done,
Because he was working for
Right,
him.
right.
Now, so you know the friend was like, oh, I got a friend, mom, who can do this work for you. So you bring this guy over and says,
His shirt off.
his shirt was off. So I don't know what he looked like. She was playing. So he dark skinned, tall, drink of water, got waves, or nice dreads. We can say whatever we want. We can make up whatever we want. He got muscles and hold you up. Dad said, well, I ain't. And it woke something. It awoke something down there.
Well, she did.
You know, yes.
She did it for
And he was trimming all around it. But he wasn't trimming the right spot.
Okay.
So then she said, hey, we chit-chatting it up. And I was like, hey, you can't handle what I got. And he said, oh, I can handle it and do more. You ain't seen nothing.
You know, a lot
yet.
of older women.
And then
like
she
that.
said,
you know,
then she said,
I probably
come
would be like that,
on,
but I don't
baby.
need to.
Then she said, come on, baby.
No, really, you be because when you've been older, it just made me think.
But no, I was on my story.
Okay, go ahead. But
Yeah,
it
go
just
ahead,
made me
I
think
get
of
it.
when
I
you
was
get
going-
that
I
coffee.
was going with you.
threw me off when you was like, you can't handle it.
No, she wasn't. She was hoping that he would go, no, we can't do this.
I don't think she
I really would stop.
Yes, she
her.
was.
I don't think
Yes, she was, because she sure wasn't trying to go back.
I don't think.
Yeah, she
was
wanted-
trying to get that. That was
She
her
was,
challenge.
but
That was
if
her
he would have
challenge.
said no, then she would have been like, no, it wasn't a challenge. She threw it out there. A challenge is he pursuing her,
Yeah.
and then he called her out.
Yeah.
She called him out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
she did.
she
And he said, I accept any challenge. See how it is? He was the one that
It
accepted the
backfired.
challenge. She didn't accept no challenge.
And he,
It backfired on her.
And she said, you can't handle what I got. He said,
What?
you want a bit? And she said, yeah. Then he did it again. He saw it and said, hey, I made you cry. And she said, I bet you won't do that again.
Yeah.
He came back 10 times. Then he was done working at the house. He ain't working anymore.
Now he texting her.
No, yeah, there was texting. He
Yeah,
started
afterwards,
texting.
yeah.
And
started
then,
texting
and then
her.
they bumped into each other again. He said, I don't want this just to be a sex thing. I want this to be real.
Man, no.
And she was like,
Oh, she said,
what should I do? I don't know.
Well, because it would have been a real thing from the real beginning. You know what I mean? It would have been a real thing in the beginning, but there was never a real thing. It was a sex toy.
Sex thing.
And that's all that was. That's
But now he want a relationship.
well, he probably broke.
And she wanted
No!
to
He ain't got no money.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. He's trying to trim the
Well,
edges
no,
again.
I think sometimes. Well, I
She
just
feel like, he feel
because
like a group.
it's just the way the relationship started. So then, and that's what fuels it. And because it's actually good sex right now. You know what I mean? Like you guys are thinking logical. Like, hello, you're not gonna be 50 forever, lady. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people say at 50 you really want you be really
You
hot,
at
you
your
really at peak.
You at the
So
peak of
okay,
it.
you at your peak now, but he all young, and then if you ain't gonna be able to keep up, and you gonna be just like the Valerie situation, because I hear stuff, so many stories about that, and then the men are just. They be all in the diaper, and then they can't get it up, and then the woman, they know the woman is out cheating or getting it
I
somewhere
don't think
else.
it's as hard as for a woman though. If you could just put some lube down there, you could.
Well, you talking about
I don't.
Yeah, because when a man gets older, he can't lift.
yeah,
He
yeah,
can't lift it.
yeah,
And he can't get it solid.
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so he
But
can't.
a woman, I don't care how old she
Yeah.
is, you just squirt some lube up in
Yeah.
there and you can go slide in like an
Well,
ocean.
you know, I do. I mean, I think women
Because
can
I
go
think
a
a man,
long time.
yeah, because I think a man, I don't care how old he is, if he can get it up, he could do it.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants to do. A woman, she can barely move. She can be in a diaper. You take that diaper off and squirt some lube, and she can still do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, she don't have those limitations.
No.
The only limitation
But
she
how-
got is I don't feel like doing it. But she got this young buck, okay,
But
I'll do it.
even-
And then even she can use her mouth, you know, she ain't got no teeth. Take the mouth
She right though.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Reminds me of a story.
Well, here you go.
So they just come on everything, and they in there playing. They kind of a little bit older, you know what I mean? So she took her teeth out. You know? She took her teeth out so she could assess the situation.
I like that. Assess the situation.
That's right.
And
And the bad thing about this particular thing is they had little dogs running around.
Oh no.
And the dogs saw it and they got a hold of the teeth.
I can't.
And the teeth just got tore up. The teeth tore up.
snaggle too. Just snaggle.
And so you know we all going, where your teeth is at? And she trying to explain to us what happened to her teeth is at. We all looking for it. Don't let that happen to you.
Please do not.
Put your teeth in the drawer. Put it in the drawer. Put it in the drawer, girl. Put it in the drawer. While you assessing the situation,
Oh my
put your
God.
teeth in the teeth holder and put it in the drawer. Because it was not a good day.
Now, it was a good day, mother, but she didn't.
And how you gonna be mad at the dog? You know? He's like mad because he's looking at y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't. You was over there assessing that situation. So I was over here assessing this situation.
Oh no.
What you mad about? You was assessing it. I was.
You was just trying to clean
all
up.
room.
You was trying to clean up and pick up.
You just trying to pick up.
Pick up after, you know.
You know, sloppy.
You know.
Yeah, I just got to.
Woo!
That's
You know, that's the thing about sex is you just gotta laugh because sometimes you be in some weird situations.
Yeah, and
I think when people get older too, it really is funny. You know,
Right,
stuff just
right,
funny stuff
right.
happens.
And I think that they, you know, that's the same with her. I think she should assess the situation.
Yeah.
I think she's deep in it now.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way is that it's like who said that? It's her decision now.
Mhm.
You know,
And see, the thing is, a lot of times in relationships from the beginning, it be like that. And see, because they started off all hot and heavy, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna be, I mean,
Hot and
it
heavy
all
all
the
the
time. I mean, that's how it's gonna still
But
live
I
on
don't
it.
think she's looking at long term. I don't think that's what her writing is about.
No.
Yeah.
I think her writing is about how this is going to affect her relationship with her son.
yeah.
So we could go around about the old and the teeth getting gone.
Well, it's really
and-
weird because she didn't even really end the question. I'm gonna really say it's the first part of the question. She didn't even ask about the son. This was so horrible. She said, should I not mess with him altogether, or should I just mess with him off and on like friends with benefits tip, or should I just give it a chance and see where it goes?
That's what you want to know.
That's she didn't even care about the son, but that's what's so bad
I
about
thought
it.
she said there was a whole bunch of different
No.
things, blah, blah, blah.
No, she said that was it, or then there was the one about and you answered that immediately about am I weird for feeling challenged
Yeah.
when a guy that feels like that is attracted to me and this and that. That was the only two part about it. So she didn't even care. The son part didn't even care. Didn't even.
So
come.
we-
Yeah,
Make the son already know she's a hoe.
Mm.
Okay, so
That's what I'm wondering about
sorry.
that.
Oops. Girl, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. This is really
Do
crazy.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
may
in
be
any
no way.
relationship, there's always ups and downs. In any relationship, there is nothing that's proven that's going to make you stay together. Just because we're saying all this, y'all might have a long 5-year relationship, 10, 20, I don't know.
It's a long run.
But it could be short for 6 months. It could be just a sex thing. You can go out there and experience it, and no, it's not crazy. If you want to go out there and try any relationship, you can find somebody your own age,
Right,
and
true.
it don't
the same
last,
way,
or
right.
it be the same way or not, or whatever.
Right.
And you're saying he's more mature than people your age. I understand that. I've seen some childish people my age, and I'll be like, oh no.
And older. It don't matter.
Yeah, so
They be
you know,
old,
you might get a young buck, and I know it's something where they say a woman is like 10 years smarter than a man and stuff like that. Sometimes that ain't true because I can tell by some of your verbiage and language you have a young mind because you talk just like my kids talk. And they're 17 and younger. So you talk like them. So you guys might be a perfect match. Not saying you're young, but I'm just saying they lingo.
Or she
you
may
understand.
act as old as she feels. You know what I mean?
That's
You know,
what I'm saying. I'm not saying
a lot of times
you're
we're
I'm
older,
just
but we
saying
don't feel older.
you
know what I
understand
mean?
their lingo.
Yeah.
So you might can do it. And
Yeah.
who says a relationship can't happen when you start off with sex? I mean, I've heard some people have sex on the first night and been married, so I don't know. So I'm sorry for putting it
Yeah,
off.
because I thought it
Go
was a
ahead.
son too. That's why I was looking at it funny
Me
because
too.
I thought it was a
I'm sorry, I
son.
apologize.
She never
I'm
asked
sorry.
about the son. She's asking what she should do, and I said follow your dreams. Follow your dreams.
Follow your hormones.
Yeah,
It don't matter.
But it don't matter. It's, if it's going to be a short season or a long season.
And sometimes what we also felt, because you know me, sometimes we fail, even though she's 50 years old, she might not have had good sex like that. Because, he said she made her cry, and she
Yeah.
said you did.
Mhm.
Bet you can't do it like that again.
Yeah.
You did it 10 times better. She might not have had good sex like that. And
So a lot of
she
times
hooked.
people
She hooked.
and you know
Yeah,
what?
she
You are
hooked.
so. Look Lydia, you are correct, because you know what? We've had these conversations
Yeah.
about that, about how just even when we were doing our project, the one that women can live there a long, long time and not have had an orgasm, not have had a fulfilling sex life.
Yeah.
And if you get and you get that,
you
you're gonna want it,
and it's addicting. I think it's worse than heroin and crack on because now you subjecting yourself to a whole bunch of diseases and everything. And now you get craving it and you're looking for it. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, and I've said this several times on the show, especially when it was the Lydia, Joanne and Lydia takeover. I have said this several times.
The Lydia takeover.
I didn't. Yeah, it's supposed to be the Lydia show. No, exactly. I have said it several times where I didn't have my first real vaginal orgasm until my first marriage. And I'm going to tell you, it changed my life. Yeah. Because I've always had the, clitoris one and all that, but I've never had it, so I understand the intensity. And if he came in, you got your first intensity, you like, oh my God, that was mind blowing. And then you got it 10 times better. Yeah. Girl, go out there and explore the world. Yes, indeed. Because I think every woman, it's like it's so sad, yes. But I think every woman, I really do believe this. I believe every woman should have a great orgasm at least 2 or 3, 4 times in your life. I really believe that. I think it because sex, when everybody has such,
say more times
all over the place, and everybody, and it's so hard because I really wish they would teach these things in church, school, parents, all of it.
Yeah, they do. They need
the freedom of sex and all the health benefits that sex help with, all the different things. And no, I'm not saying have sex outside of marriage, but I'm saying just having the benefits of understanding when you have real good sex, it can make a headache go away. If you're sick, it can take that flu away. I mean, this stuff is
boosts your immune system. Every time you have an orgasm, it boosts your immune system.
And a good orgasm, not the clitoris orgasm, but a really major, good, mind-blowing sex orgasm. And a lot of women, I think, do not want to have sex. It's because they're not getting that. They're like, I can do a clit one by myself sitting over here. I don't need my husband. I don't need this. So to have a great vaginal orgasm and not just hitting a G spot, but hitting that A spot over and over and over again. Oh my goodness, it is mind blowing. And I'm saying
that's what happened to her.
Yes.
And my son.
And she ain't never had one before.
And you know what? I think that I agree with that. It relieves a lot of stress. You know, you can be so happy. You're just happy.
Yes.
Because the endorphins. They say
something happens to you,
like, whatever. Your endorphins.
Wonderful. It is. Your worst enemy.
I love you. I know you wanted to kill me, but come here, give me a hug. No, I'm not even a hugger, but you come over here and give me a hug that day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It reminds me of this job I had, and I was the supervisor. And me and her had the same breast sign. It used to crack me up. And she's older. She'd come to work just crabby all the time, right? And she'd crack me up. And so the guy she was with knew like my family members or whatever. She's a little older than me, and so it just cracked me up because I'd be begging them, like, please give her some. When she would get some, she was so nice. We gotta work. I'm like, oh, she got some. She got some. Oh, good. He gave
I tell him that. I said, when somebody go over there and touch that booty, we can't take this.
They said if you have sex in the morning, it's better than having coffee. You will leave coffee alone. If you have a good orgasm in the morning, just have your man roll over and give you a good orgasm in the morning. So I understand that. So we're not talking about your son and all that. Let's move all that out the way, girl. Go enjoy yourself.
That's what I say.
Just go enjoy yourself.
That's what I say.
That's all I can say. I feel like
whatever the road may lead you, it could do a lifetime of wonderfulness. It could do that.
And you might be blowing his mind. He might not have had what you get because he's talking about a relationship. And he might get. So just as much as you wide open for him, his nose is wide open for you.
Exactly.
Y'all might make a wonderful relationship. He just ain't have no kids, but mine, who cares? He got no kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I say, get some foster kids or something.
I totally agree. I think that she should enjoy her life to the fullest. Yeah. And many women probably listening to this. I wish I had found me something like that.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that.
And no, they don't talk about it. That's what irritates me, and that's what one of my things is. Because I remember, and I've talked to Joanne about it and several other people about it. Since I was in high school, like early high school, like freshman, sophomore, I had been fascinated with sex. And when I started going to church and I got saved, I just felt like I couldn't talk about it and I couldn't, it was like one of those things. But I would get with my girlfriends and talk about sex all the time. And even to this day, I was like, ooh. And I was like, no, this is my passion. This is something I love to talk about. And I think what it is because there's no healing. People don't understand when you get married, the freedom. You hear about it, but how do you know how to have that freedom?
Right.
How do you know how to do that? Because nobody's ever explained it. They don't tell you the freedom that you should be able to have when you're married. It just don't have sex before you get married. But now you have sex before you got married, and you're no good, and God's gonna put you to hell for that. Well, He's gonna put me in hell for the lying and stealing the covenant.
Right.
That's not. I'm not gonna go to hell for that. But because I have sex outside of marriage, I'm gonna go to hell for that. So much that we're losing out of that conversation and that exhortation. I read of something just last night, which is so weird to me because another reason you're gonna go to hell and burn to death. They said lesbians have better orgasms than straight people.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's so weird to me. But you know what it is? Because I don't condone it, but my thing is, they know each other's bodies.
Right.
So you know where to hit. And you know where that. So of course it's happening.
Yeah.
Because a man is just diving in. And if he doesn't take the time to understand your body. Because a man can give you a way better orgasm than a woman can give you. Because they got the tools. But it's the thing is, are you using your tools properly?
Right.
But who's teaching that? Because sex is no, we don't talk about that. But it's everywhere. And it's advertising it everywhere. I had to talk to my kids about sex since they was little because I remember how old I was when I heard about it. And then my sister, I remember how old she was. So I'm like, it's getting worse. So now when my kids are like that, boo, boo, good. Okay, now you don't want to have sex. And I'm showing disease CDs. So all my kids, including hers, I have just talked about sex, disease. I've been very open about it because I'd rather talk to them and get to them before their friends do. Because my friends told me a whole bunch of lies. And my girlfriends, they told them a whole bunch of lies. So, and it was all over the world. So, I didn't just talk about friends in the same city and state that I am, but I'm talking about friends all over the place and all the different lies that our other friends told us, not knowing, they just making up stuff to seem cool.
Right, exactly.
And as a kid, you don't know that's what they do.
Right, you believe that stuff not even knowing that it ain't right.
Yeah, and we're too scared to talk to our parents or an adult about it at all.
That's not mine.
That's mine. Sorry, guys. All of a sudden, my phone never rings, and then all of a sudden, they touched it.
Yeah.
T-Mobile touched my phone, and all of a sudden it rings, ding, all kinds of stuff. I'm scared with my phone now. What happened? I'm not used to it making noise. But I just think it's one of those things that everybody should understand that it's a freeing feeling. Yes, we would like you to be married before having sex, but 95% of y'all are
a lot of things
so
have
it's
changed
done.
in the world today. So
It's not even about changing. It's the same as back in the Bible days. It's just
they were sneakier then.
Yeah, they just didn't let everybody know. And my thing is, but it's one of those things that when we are raised that way, it kind of puts a stamp on our head, so it's hard to loose yourself. So it's hard to be free, to be free.
But one thing I will say, and I appreciate you saying, because it's to me, you said it last night, but it was something that you said because it's the reality of it. Yes, we have, we can be, we can teach our kids all these things, or we can raise them a certain way and want them to go a certain way or be the certain way, but we don't, even if they don't choose, like you said, they choose to end up having sex before marriage or whatever. That's, like I said, for me, I was that way. You grow up and you're just like, oh, you have this little fantasy land of, I want this to be, well then, and I'm just going to be honest. Certain things happen in your life. A lot of us have been through sexual trauma or things like that, and we don't choose that route because that little fantasy land went out the door once the sexual trauma happened. Then you start doing stuff, from having the sexual trauma. So depending on, because life can get a hold of you and then it changes your whole pattern. So what we're saying is that, either way, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes they end up having babies or younger, or they this and that. They're having sex. So the best thing to do is just to give them as much information like she's doing, because you don't, like me, I was growing up not being able to say nothing. So I was trying to do everything I could by myself and figure everything out by myself. I was an independent person, an independent child, yes, but I didn't have all the answers. So I'm sitting there doing the best I could because I didn't feel comfortable enough to talk to my parents or anything like that about that. You know, even my mom. So I was just doing everything myself.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's a good thing that you're doing that. Even though, like I said, we want certain things for our kids, yes. But we also do, if they don't, we know everybody got their own personalities and they all gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yep.
So our thing is if you just at least give them enough information, and with them, it's the same thing too. Like right now, it's a learning process because see, if I sit there, I had a lot of information growing up, even myself. I knew a lot of stuff, but today's age, there's a lot of stuff. There's stuff out there. There's all kind of other diseases and stuff that just is crazy. Just like how we're dealing with this coronavirus, and it's it keeps getting stronger. There's sexual transmitted diseases that are the same way. That's why they have you want the kids to get, the vaccinated with HPV and this and that, because it's trying to prevent you from getting certain sexually transmitted diseases, but that don't protect you from all them other ones. And there's a whole bunch of those out there.
Yes,
so. And you gotta pay attention. You gotta teach them those things. And these kids are not being taught that. And especially for me, you've been raised in the church and this and that, and all that talking about all that stuff is like
it's like a faux pas.
Nobody talk.
And you gotta be free about it, regardless. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about it is, your kids. I'm not saying condone your kids having sex under your roof and all. I'm not saying anything, but let your kids have the correct knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge.
So then they can make a better decision. Because a lot of times they're having sex before they're even ready because they don't know the consequence. The only consequence they know is there's a disease
or a baby.
Mm-hmm. They don't know about the emotional damage. Mm-hmm. They don't know about the heartache. Mm-hmm. They don't know about any of that. And if you just pound them being mean, they're not going to get it. You want your kids to be very open and free to have these conversations with you.
Because they're exposed to so much. Just like the conversation we was having yesterday.
Well,
we see on social media they're exposed to all this stuff anyway, and they're seeing so much craziness out there. And it's really happening. I mean, it is true. It's really real. But the thing about it is, and it's like, okay, that is, and the thing is, society and social media is actually glamorizing that type of stuff, glamorizing the bad behavior. So it's like, and you don't want them to be confused and think, oh, this is okay. This is okay to be doing this and having these diseases and this and that and just being disgusting or whatever. You gotta love yourself and have some more respect about yourself than what these people is doing out here. But of course, that's how social media is. It glamorizes those type of things. And this is what our kids is exposing.
Oh. I had a question.
Yeah,
well, I was just sitting here thinking in my little brain, I was thinking and I was hearing all the talks and but the thing that, whose responsibility, because I was thinking about these 2-minute men, and they're 2 minutes, and it's done, and they, so in my head, I'm saying, isn't it I know the women have played their part in the sexual relationship and what's happening in the bedroom, but I want to kind of lean that it's the man's thing to bring it to the table right, you know what I mean, and I don't think
lay it down right.
I think that men are not stepping to the plate.
Because men are not talking about it. That's the problem, Valerie. Men are not talking about it. They're not even talking about it with their you know what they do? Good job, man. So they don't even
I did one time. It was a minute and 36 seconds. It was over. I said,
because my thing is they don't, this is what it should be. This is really to me how I think it should be. If you know you're getting ready to have sex,
you're feeling it,
whatever. So no, like if you're going on a date, this is sex night with your person, something's gonna happen. What you need to do, men,
get ready.
Well, first, you need to really learn a woman's anatomy so you can be able to handle it. So even if it is 2 minutes and maybe you can't go more than 2 minutes, you don't rock the world in 2 minutes. She done came in 1.5 minutes. She won't even care.
Yeah.
But just in case, if we get ready to go out, I'm getting all dressed up. You know how you fellas do it? Getting nice cologne because you're trying to turn her on before you even talk to her. Jack off.
That makes sense.
No, she didn't.
Jack off.
That makes sense.
Get you some baby oil, jack off.
Because sometimes when you come back, you're not so anxious.
Yes. Jack off. And then sometimes you might need to jack off twice. Jack off.
Because if you ain't had it in a long time, it just go for just that back.
And even sometimes it just be so good.
Yeah.
So get your little GG. Those are those fake little coochies. Get your little GG. Put your little screaming in there and jack off. Jack off. And then you feel it and you go, oh, I need to do it again, do it again. So then you have a couple of hours. Because see, once you wore it out a little, you have a couple of hours, it's going to build up. And she going to be smelling good. Yeah. And then she going to rub on your thighs. And then you guys, you know, going to get that kissing down. And then it's going to ding, ding, ding. But now then, you ready to wear it out.
Yeah.
But that is it. Now, if you can't help it, what you need, I'm just telling you, because some people just are 2-minute brothers. That's who they are. And ain't nothing wrong with it. But that means you need to learn how to hit the spot quickly.
Or the foreplay got to be bomb too.
But they might not know the spot.
And that's why I say you need to be educated. I've always said men have to love the vagina to make the vagina scream.
But they gotta learn that.
And you gotta learn it. No,
you gotta learn that one.
Take it. No, you gotta take. Do you know how many things are on dang Google?
But I'm saying every person is different.
No, now when you hit the A spot, it's in the same spot. Like the G spot's in the same spot, the A spot. Because once you hit the A spot, you tenderizing her walls. The G spot don't tenderize your walls. The A spot tenderizes your walls. You hit that A spot, you can make her have a come in 1 minute. 3 times she's squirting all over. You need to take a shower. Your bedspread needs to be in the washing machine. Now you're on the kitchen counter. Do that. Learn a woman's body. If you want to be that so-called man, learn it. So even if you can't do more than 2 minutes and then rest for 10 minutes and do another 2 minutes, she's so wise, she gonna think she was in there for an hour and y'all only been there for 30 minutes. You did a sitcom.
And it's gonna be like this lady. And
it sounds like an educational piece.
It is. But nobody's teaching that. That's the part where we slacking on.
And the men teaching their sons.
No.
Oh, not at all. No.
We don't talk.
No.
Because that subject's taboo in the house.
Yeah.
You just say high five your son when you think about it.
Yeah, and that's horrible.
And I know everybody can say it and get mad at me. I don't care. Please write it and get mad and yell because I will defend my own. I also believe it's a woman's place to help teach her son too. Not show, just talk of how important of a woman's body is.
Because she's a woman.
How much to appreciate. Learn it. You know, and then have some good men around that you trust. Like if they have a daddy that you trust, a grandpa that you talk about the point. I'm not saying you got to teach your child, and you turn your body over here, hit it like that. I'm not saying that because I remember my stepdad. He wasn't even my dad. My stepdad, well, he was because he raised me. My stepdad would tell me so much of what men would do. You don't want to be that. So I was already programmed. So when I heard key words, it might have not been said the same way my daddy said it. But when I heard key words, I said, I got to back up.
Stay away from him.
You're just trying to practice on me. I got your practice too. You learn that. And you're like, make sure a man appreciates you. All of you. Who you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your size. It doesn't matter. You make sure that man appreciates you. He don't appreciate you, you leave him alone because you should not be just another notch on his belt. And I refuse to be another notch on a man's belt. So those are things that is educated. A man can teach your daughter that, and a woman can teach your son that. And so, because there's a lot of single women out there that got boys, and they don't have those men to teach them and trust them. But if you open a line of communication with your son, and then say, maybe you need to talk to, you guys, there's sex therapists that will talk to your kids. If you don't have a man that can do it, that will teach your kids, and you make sure you back up and make sure there ain't nothing hanky-panky going on to protect you. Because people will molest your boys just as much as they will molest your girls. So just make sure you have it. Those dialogue, it should not be a taboo. And stop nicknaming the penis in the vagina. Stop nicknaming. If you're going to nickname it, it's a dick in the pussy. That's it. We ain't calling it a cookie. We ain't calling it a stallion. We ain't calling that. Like, we're not doing that.
What's wrong with the names?
Because like there was a one. No, because there's
sexy. I said,
no, that's names in between you and there. But when you're talking to your kids, they need to know exactly the body part. Because if somebody's touching them, you don't want them going to school and say, somebody touched my cookie. Heck no. Well, go get the cookie. Just tell me, get you another cookie. You want a cookie? Here you go. You're not putting two together. And so we just got to stop acting like sex is such a cuss word. You guys act like it's worse than a cuss word. Like the kid could cuss, but they can't say pussy or dick. They can't say vagina, and they can't say penis. They can't say testicles, they can't say balls. They're like, you can say, even when you hear it on TV, close your ears. Why can't that be an open up conversation when you see your child having their sex on TV? Why that can't be an open communication? Do you think that's right? Do you really believe that's right? Because I'm gonna tell you, she's probably not feeling good at the first time right now. It looks like she's enjoying it. It's just an act. It looks like he's enjoying it. It's just an act. You know, have those open dialogue conversations. And I ran my mouth again.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's about sex, so you know how
it is, and I think
That's
that it
great.
does need to be more open.
Yeah.
And I think they're talking.
We thank you so much for listening to us. We help someone out there, and we'll see you next time on the Talk It Out show.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, keep on.
It's still going in his life.
Yeah, well, my mind, I was just thinking that today's time, when I was coming up, you know, it was a little bit more quieter. But nowadays, you got these young, they're fast.
Oh, they're
you know, I
big
just
time
wanted
fast.
to touch that subject again because it's quicker, and you got to get some healthy. Either you're going to talk about it healthy, or the kids, or
Some
whatever
kind of
their theory is
communication,
going to talk it out. And it's going to be unhealthy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Right.
And it should be a healthy conversation.
Exactly.
You know, and I like the fact that you said that that if you're not understanding what an A or a G spot is, maybe it's a good idea to get some counseling. Maybe you do need to get to some classes so that you understand, you know, what she's really saying. You know, because like they do have the sex counselors that can teach you things and show you things in a different kind of way. You know, so I think those tools are good, and we should utilize those tools if you're not enjoying your. If you're not enjoying your sex life, if your sex life is not enjoyable, then there's something wrong there. And you
But
probably
see,
could
right
share
now,
it
it's
out.
such a taboo that couples are even scared to have a conversation with each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it can mess with their ego
Yeah.
on both parts.
Yeah, on both parts,
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying is we got to stop and have that be an open dialogue, period. Like I said, even before you get married, that should be a conversation. Are you willing to try everything in the bed? I need to know. Because my thing is, people get mad when somebody's cheating or when somebody's having an affair or something, but even though sex is not the biggest part, don't you want to enjoy sex?
And
Don't you want to have fun?
You don't want to feel bad
Go to
that
the
you want
playground for a
certain
kid.
things, too.
You know, you go to the playground and you enjoy the playground. Now you sit right here and don't move. But that's boring.
Yeah.
And that's how sex is. I want to know that you don't mind doing everything with me. Because if you approve, we need to have this discussion before we go. Because it might be fine for me for 2, 3, 5 years. I don't know if I can go that long of just doing missionary or just doing doggy style. I don't know how long I can handle that. I might want to get a swing in my room. I might want to get some handcuffs to the sheet to the bed. I might want to do, and I just want to be able to be open with it. Because like for me, what I started doing you remember when I had those sex parties and I was doing bachelorette parties and stuff like that, I would always give, at the bachelorette party, I would give a box. And what it was, it's not for you in the beginning of a relationship, when you're at sex and it's stale. I want you to open this box. And it had toys, it had all different kinds of stuff, and it had items for you to enjoy each other. It had games and stuff, to open up dialogue, to open up conversation about it, because this is freedom. I want you to be able to sit there and lay in the bed. Both person. One day, somebody does, another day somebody else. And you have to make me almost come, but you cannot play with my vagina or my penis. You cannot suck on my titties. You have to try everything else. But those are the things you cannot touch. You can't touch any private parts of my body. And I want you to almost make me come. To where when you touch me, when you enter me, or when I get on top of you, it's over. You're talking about 2 minutes, brother. 10 seconds, brother. 10 seconds, brother. 20 seconds, sister. That's what it is, because of the enjoyment. But we act like it, because it's not a big part. It's not a big part because it's a taboo.
Because we don't
That's
talk
like a
about
sex store called taboo. But it's a taboo, and that's what I'm saying. No, we need to talk about it. It needs to, because sometimes that can end the argument. Because remember, in the Bible it says, your body is not yours. That goes on both people. So the only time you cannot have sex when you're married is when you both agree. So if we're going to fast and we're going to fast without sex, we have to agree with that. And that's what I'm saying. And I think we missed that point. I think we're missing that. And then we act like, how dare we have, no. go out there and spread your wings and have a good time. And I think that would help so many people.
I do too.
I'm very adamant about it. I'm like, I think it's crazy.
I couldn't tell at all.
Me either.
I can tell how passionate you were about
Well,
that.
no, you know.
I'm trying to help somebody.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody need help.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who need help.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was also telling you, because the other aspect I was telling you about how it's good, and this I think is important for women to also talk to your girls and stuff about, or even the boys, because I don't know if they're going to have that issue or whatever or not, but like your kids, like what I was telling you about things that are inherited, because see how things were inherited with me and it affected me, my sex life, but I didn't know what it was, and until I went and talked to an aunt or something, oh child, that's this, da, 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 da. But every doctor was going, I don't know what that is. And so you're sitting there all these years thinking something's going on or wrong, and it's like, oh no. So it's like, okay, you have to understand how that communication, because just like what I was saying, when my grandmother passed away, my mother didn't find out a whole bunch of things that were going on with my grandmother until she had to start taking care of her until at the end. And she was like, well, this would have helped all the females in our family out if we would have known all these things. We didn't know all these things. My grandma never told us. So we was all other females, we were sitting having surgeries, having things going on with us in our reproductive system and had no idea. But if she would have told us, we would have understood a lot of things that was wrong with us.
Clear.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times too, even in that area, even in the sex area, those things, there's things that we need to talk about that literally are inherited, because like I was telling her, our bodies are all different. I know certain people, like, people, I was saying when she was talking about the spot, and I get that when she's talking about the spot, but I'm saying too, certain people that I even know, even just myself, cervixes and things like that are in different areas and tilted and this and that. So weird things are, bodies are different. So sometimes it does take that person to actually, if they love you, to know your body, get to know you, what you like.
And I think you have to come out of yourself. I think that you have to remember that it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about them, and that's why I think the word put it that way.
Selfless.
Because when because I think that women probably are too, and especially as time is going on, I'm noticing some things, but it used to be the men be like, you know what I mean? It's all about them.
But now the women.
The women is starting to be, hey, it's about
I'm trying to get mine.
Yeah, I'm trying to get mine. Because they must have hit the A spot. They trying to find that find that A spot again, and so he ain't stepping up.
Right.
And so, but it used to be the men. You know what I mean? And so you instead of trying to tell that man he ain't doing well, we always try to stroke their ego by telling them, oh yeah, that was good, daddy, that was good. And then behind your back, you rolling your eyes.
Right.
So for one thing, because they didn't hit nothing, no G, and I think it all stems back from the fact that when you're in the bed with your partner, then it can't be about you. It's about pleasing them, and they should be about pleasing you. So if you did that combination right, that thing has to be explosive.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be, because it's a selfless. Self-act, you know what I'm saying? It's not about you, because I think everything in life we do too much about us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's about me, it's about me. And he's telling us, according to the word, that it's not about you. Their body belongs to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to just anxious about saying it. But because I'm trying to make a very strong point here. That you have to be selfless when it comes to being where you're making your partner pleased sexually. Exactly. And it can't be about you and how you feel, because most of them get out of bed and they just, I hit that.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking they done did something.
It really was them.
And we up here faking it. And we need to stop faking it. You need to stop faking it.
So how do you open up that dialect so that they understand that you didn't get nothing out that deal? So I'm not quite sure. Because I know that's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but I think the conversation has to come to the table.
Yeah, you have to.
If not, I think that's where infidelity comes in, and everybody's looking around at Joe, and because they want to be, over there. Yeah. And even in today's time, the women are not pleased, and the men thinking they're pleasing them, and they ain't pleasing nothing.
And I think that's why it's in the Bible. To save yourself from marriage, because then you can't really compare either. But I think, let me see. If you, before you have sex with somebody, decide to play games, and that's like the sex game I just basically said, learn each other's body before, and then explore, because then you can know there's a spot. Oh, she
likes
really
when I do
turned
that.
on when her elbows touch.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you
This
learn
color
stuff
does it
and
well.
then look inside. I always learned from, and it wasn't my mom, it was my cousin,
Mm.
told me, you know, always look at a man's private area because you want to make sure he ain't got nothing down there. You know, you can see herpes, you
Look
see
it all.
that,
Yeah,
you know, tap it a couple of times to see if you can stress it out, to see if the herpes pop up and all this other stuff. But also, but also look at it. Look at it and touch it. And see what makes the penis pop.
Yeah.
Touch a woman's vagina inside and see what makes a woman's pop inside. Like me doing that, it was an ocean that came out. She's still dry. I done tick over here, tick there, still dry. Learn those different things in the sport, in a conversation. Say, honey, you good. I don't care which one too. You good. But I'm not getting completely satisfied. You know what I'm from? I'm not getting completely satisfied. You know, and those are things to get in the head because I think we lose that lesson. You know what I mean? So, you know, especially for women, it's just not hidden. I have a lot of areas in me, and the area you're hitting, it feels good for a minute, but it doesn't do the long lasting effect. You know what? I looked in here because you got to do research. You got to know your own private area. You got to know your penis.
Exactly.
So if we do this, I need to get a pillow. I need to angle this way, and you dive in this way. Let's see how that is. So it's not a negative. You came out with some research. You explained that. Because men think all vaginas are the same, just like women think all penises are the same. We ain't thinking different about that, but it ain't. Somebody wants you to play on the back of the head of the penis. Some want you to play with the veins. Some want you to do this. I mean, we sitting up here acting like everybody's the same. So when you have a conversation, it is the way you direct the conversation. It is the way you angle the conversation. But if you come up there, you ain't hitting, you good. You don't even know how to F right.
That's bad. You ain't don't do that.
No, that's not nice.
You know, 'cause I always relate everything to a show because everything tickled me. And so I was thinking about Martin. Y'all Martin Lawrence. I'm watching that, and Gina and Martin, you know, they all in love all the time. And so, and she would always holler, "Don't touch my spot." I think her spot was behind her ear.
Right there.
You know what I mean? That was her spot. If you touch that, and so, and I think that they're making a strong point. They're trying to tell you something that you have to find that spot that makes them go nuts. You know, and you have to look for it. You have to be diligent about it, and then when you get it, then you learn to mature in it. You know what I mean? So that's
what I'm talking about.
My thoughts on
that. And it's true. That thought was correct, and that's what I'm saying. We got to learn each other.
Yep. I agree.
The more you learn each other, the less you got to talk about it. You ain't hitting the right
got to talk
spot.
about it because then you can see.
You just walk in the room and be like, baby, don't walk in the room like that. You almost started something on the end, baby. Kids are going to have to go to the room. Kids, I got to go to the room. You know? And the kids are, oh, girl. That's fine because they see a nice, healthy relationship.
Right. And I think that's what they've done to sex, and they've made it where it's appearing to the kids unhealthy. And so then it becomes mysterious. You know, and then they want to experiment because everybody, I call it your body wake up. You know, it start waking up like in between 13, 15. That thing start waking up. Like what we gonna do? What we gonna do? You know, and then we're hiding it. We're ducking that thing because we don't want to discuss it with our kids
And you have to understand, back in the day, that's when they was getting married and having kids.
We'll have 13,
14 years old. So it's like, you can't sit there and act shocked about it now. We just got to deal with it. Because the thing about it is their lives are different. And back then, they forced to grow old.
They was forced to go and build houses.
So their bodies.
But you have a choice. You can either have this discussion with your kids. Or you can do what you've been doing, and then they learn it from their friends. Those are your choices. And then you wonder why there's so many like teachers and these figures having sex with young kids because they want to be exploring. They get somebody who's really experienced, showing them something, and now they want to put their thing in everybody. Or a woman want to have her legs gapped over for everybody because we never learned it at home and understand the importance of it all the way around. Like sex is not just having sex. It's about the emotional attachment. It's about the detachable. It's understanding the rhythm. It's understanding that a woman's an innie, a man's an outie. All of these things play a part.
Right.
And if you're not having a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
you're losing it.
Right. Yeah, I was. It's not on there. Mary Jane. Mary Jane did a good job. I don't know if y'all watched that movie, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Mary Jane, she loved to get intimate. She just loved that part of intimate. And she would do the one where she would, before she went out, she wanted to do it, so she would self-induce to take care of herself before she go out, because she didn't want
to be getting horny.
she was gonna do that, and she was gonna be in the bed with that man, so she would take care of herself before she left the office. Yeah, she was very clear about letting you see that part, so you couldn't even think what was she doing. So you knew, and so that part I clearly understood. I said, okay, this makes perfectly good sense.
Yeah.
And there was a point that I was making, and I lost it.
I was into it.
I don't know about her having sex with
Yeah,
or whatever.
it was a point that I was trying to make. About, I think, just understanding your body and understanding again. What to do. You know what I mean? So that you're in control. Because basically she was saying that she was getting control of the situation. Yeah. Even if she did decide to lay down with her, it wasn't gonna be.
It was by her. It was her choice. It was
her choice. So Mary Jane was she was pretty open.
It making me want to watch the movie.
Yeah, it's old. It's
a series. It's a series.
I know what it is.
And her one, the guy kept coming back all the time.
Yeah.
And he would always be coming back.
Yeah, you made me want to watch it, girl.
It was in the beginning, so you have to go back to the beginning show.
Don't worry, I ain't seen the old, so I'll just start from the beginning.
You have to start at the beginning and kind of keep up with Mary Jane.
But that's good.
Because sometimes they're trying to give you a message.
Yeah.
And they're trying to give you, and I think that's where my mind, a lot of times I'm looking at something and I'm seeing, there's something they're trying to say there, and that's.
But then it could be also too, they're trying to let you know something about her personality,
right?
In the sense
a lot of women,
she wanted a lot of control. She wanted to control stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm starting to see that a lot about things, and that right there is, I think, in that, because if you watch her, you see how she is. But that's she wanted to control it. So it's like I want to be in control of this. So that's what she did. To herself in order to control the way she acted.
Behavior.
Because if you want, the thing about it is if you let yourself just go ahead, then I don't want to be looked upon as this way,
right.
Because she's a professional person, and I don't want to be looked upon as this.
Right.
So she's doing that, so she can stay in control whenever she goes and does something.
And I agree with a woman being in control of that, because it's always the woman is the cat, per the pussy, and the man is the dog, per the penis. And with that, we need to be in control, and the man should want a woman to be in control, only because you don't ever want to hear rape or tag me when she said no, I thought she really meant yes, and all those different things that come in that conversation, because a woman should be controlling her body. Even if she got you all hot and ready and you end up getting blue balls, let her be in control. It's better her be in control. You go home mad. You don't have to talk to her no more mad, but you want to make sure that you don't get a record on you for the rest of your life because you didn't have that control. Amen. And I do believe both parties should be at home masturbating before they go out and have sex, because it can eliminate that pressure to have sex. You know what I mean?
And the sense of like, even with that,
you probably enjoy your date.
Because the lust is too much. Like kind of like that lady, she was going off her lust. She probably hadn't had it in a long time, and she just went off of, oh man, he looking, ooh, and he, and she just went, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, because sometimes people don't understand that you can be in a situation where that lust is just so powerful. It's just like crazy. You're like, what the heck is this? So and then that's what you thrive off of. So then when you thrive off of that, you be like, well, this ain't even real. Is this real? Like, do I really feel something for this person, or is it just?
It can. Sex can make a relationship grow. Because you are touching the most intimate part of each other's body. So it can make it grow. Where people think it's a mistake at is because people are not touching each other's intimate parts. So you keep having sex with everybody, so now you just a hoe. Or you just whatever man is called. I call them hoes as well. But you have that thing. But when you can actually have a connection, it does make a dialect come out more free. You more free to talk. You have been free in sex way.
Yeah.
So now you can talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's right. You
Yeah.
know, so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
Now you can talk about everything. So
Yeah.
a relationship can build strong.
Yeah.
The reason they don't is because
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody free.
Mm-hmm. And I think that people are, but it ain't, because if with the benefits why they're doing it, and then they be talking too, like you're saying, it's like this relationship is there, it builds, and then you're sitting there like, that's why I'm doing the person.
Mm-hmm.
They just thought, oh, well, this is just somebody that I'm friends with and I'm having sex with. Be in a relationship is be your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With person, and so they don't realize, they just acting like, oh, this is a convenience, when actually you gonna have feelings for the person. You ain't gonna be able to cut it off like that.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
A whole bunch.
I agree with
I
that.
agree with that. I agree with that. Yep, I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we done talked this.
Well, this was a good topic,
Yeah,
and so I just want to
well,
tell
sex is always
everybody.
a topic.
Well, yes. I just want to watch your show. We appreciate you so much. And if you have any comments or anything, you want to disagree with us, you want to agree with us,